isn't your ordinary Mario vs. Sonic episode, not that any Mario vs. Sonic episode is ordinary. However, it is fair to say that this episode is extra special. We're dropping that pixel ratio all the way down to 8 bits. We got 8-bit Mario versus 8-bit Sonic, which means for Mario, we're only factoring feats from Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. On the NES, and for Sonic, we're only factoring feats from the Master System and Sega Game Gear. Without further ado, let's introduce Cartoon Fight Club's next round of fighters.
Wait, Brian, wait! Now let's watch a whole bunch of ads.
Oh. Everyone knows about the Sega Genesis, but what if the Sega Genesis wasn't actually Sega's Genesis, or beginning, no pun intended? Because on October 20th, 1985, the Master System was released in Japan. This was an 8-bit home console that was designed to compete with the NES. Many people remember the SNES vs. Genesis console wars because there was actually some competition to remember. One generation prior, it was a complete Nintendo takeover with the NES. That didn't stop the Master System from putting up a good fight and lasting into the early 90s, however, because Sonic ended up getting some downgraded remakes onto the Master System and eventually the Game Gear. The original Sonic trilogy on the Genesis was a 16-bit masterpiece, but the games that were made for the Master System were much more simplistic 8-bit Sonic games that tried to follow a similar formula with much less advanced tech. And fun fact, Sonic 2 actually came out for the Master System about a month earlier than the Genesis, which means Tails' first debut was actually on the Master System. But this episode isn't a history about Sega consoles, it's about that hedgehog. 8-bit Sonic, of course, is much less powerful than his 16-bit counterpart. For starters, there is no 8-bit Super Sonic. Secondly, his power-ups are much different. Instead of his iconic element shields, Sonic is left with a pogo spring, rocket boots, and temporary invincibility. He's also much slower than 16-bit Sonic. 16-bit Sonic has some FTL feats, whereas 8-bit Sonic, if we go off of statements, we're lucky to give him that Mach 1 from the original lore, but raw game mechanic feats, he's not fast enough to run on water, which we could lowball him and capping him at 70 miles per hour. However, I will set that to the side as it is a game mechanic, especially to make the game playable and stick to the original lore of Mach 1 Sonic. Sonic also has much less durability in these games. His rings are all evaporated with one ring, whereas in the 16-bit game, he loses multiple rings and can easily recollect them. 8-bit Sonic surprisingly does have a super peel out technique, which is something you wouldn't expect considering how inconvenient it is for such a small screen at the time. 8-bit Sonic is strong enough to destroy Robotnik's tech, which will give his attack potency at roughly building level, durability at wall level, and speed at Mach 1. Nintendo has a long history of iconic games, but if there's just one game to choose as the butterfly effect starting point, I would choose Super Mario Bros. But even Super Mario Bros. Isn't the first time we see the king of video games. Whether you count Donkey Kong's Mr. Video Game as the same person or not is a different debate for a different day, because there's even another endless one-map platformer simply known as Mario Bros. Before the side-scrolling era, there was the basic map era of video games. You know, your Pac-Mans, Donkey Kongs that had the same map on repeat until you ran out of lives. Mario Bros worked the same. Mario is known for jumping on turtles, but in his first game, that was a bad idea. To beat these turtles, you had to jump under them and punch the ground they were walking on in order to safely kick them once they're on their backs. There's also the iconic POW block that allowed Mario to knock out all enemies from various locations without directly touching them. This Mario isn't so super compared to future incarnations of Mario, but he can jump 3 times his own height. Imagine a real-life 5-foot person having the ability to jump 15 feet into the air. That would be insane. LeBron James only has a 40-inch vertical, and that's insane in real life, which is about 1 meter. Imagine him jumping 10 times that height. Mario is strong enough to bend metal with his punches, which should give him wall-level attack potency and street-level durability. Now, in Super Mario Bros., he does get a stat boost in all aspects, even power-up boosts. In Super Mario Bros., Mario has access to the Super Mushrooms, which increases his height and durability, the Fire Flower, which allows him to shoot fire pellets, and the Superstar, which grants him temporary invincibility. Mario can now stomp on turtles and Goombas with his shoes, and is strong enough to punch through stone. He is much faster in this game. We can use game mechanic speed and lore speed. Game mechanic speed Super Mario is fast enough to run past 4 blocks in 1 second. Each block is about 16 pixels long. If we use Mario's height of around 5'1" as a reference, this means Mario can run about 14 miles per hour or about 22 kilometers per hour. Using Lore Mario, this version of Mario is fast enough to dodge Bowser's fireballs, which that's up in the air on how fast those fireballs are. If they're fast as a flamethrower, that would put them at around 42 miles per hour or 68 kilometers per hour, or if they're fast as cannonballs, that would put them at around 112 miles per hour. With the POW block, I would put Mario's AP at around building level, his base brick bashing abilities at wall level, his durability at street level, and his speed at superhuman.
Say what?
And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
Yahoo! Woohoo! Woohoo! Piece of cake! Come on, Sonic, speed! Let's go! That was almost too easy! Piece of cake! Oh yeah! Come on! Come on! Oh yeah! Sonic! Super Sonic style! Sonic speed! Come on! That was almost too easy! Let's do that again sometime!
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind's Peter Coffey. Thanks, and enjoy the post-analysis. And the winner is 8-Bit Sonic. Now I know 8-Bit Supersonic only exists in 8-Bit Sonic fan games, but this animation was not a simulation. Regardless, 8-Bit Sonic does not need a super form to beat 8-Bit Mario. 8-Bit Sonic simply has way better stats than the 8-Bit Plumber. Whether we go off of lore or game mechanics, Sonic is faster. Game mechanic Sonic can travel at 70 miles per hour versus game mechanic Mario traveling at around 14 miles per hour, making him about 5 times faster. Lore 8-Bit Sonic versus lore 8-Bit Mario is around 760 miles per hour or Mach 1 versus around 112 miles per hour, making 8-Bit Sonic about 7 times faster. Being at least twice as fast can put you towards blitzing territory. Being 5 to 7 times as fast is overkill in terms of speed. They have similar attack potency, but only if you give Mario his POW block, which can only happen in limited scenarios. Sonic has building level AP wherever he goes in base form, proving that he can destroy Robotnik's tech with his own body. Their durability is also roughly the same. It's about wall level or street level depending on how you want to count their power-ups and rings. Their invincibility power-ups are just about even as well. Even if you can argue that Mario's lasts longer, Sonic is way too fast for that to be a problem. 8-Bit Mario may be more iconic, but 8-Bit Sonic simply has better stats, making the winner of this battle 8-Bit Sonic. On the next episode of Cartoon Fight Club.